Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gump Report. I can't believe I just did that. I'm trying to make these things funnier, guys. I'm trying to have fun, okay? If I seem a little over the top, I'm sorry. Now, I don't know if I got the same using the same intro. That was just an experiment. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that intro again. So, if it's something different, I hope you like it. If there's no intro, well, this is what you're getting. You're getting a bare bone, baby. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is going to be about the rumor of Triple H possibly being fired from NXT. Now, I can't remember which YouTuber was talking about it because I came across it when I was looking through other YouTube channels for wrestling to see if anyone had done anything about, guess what, Impact Wrestling. Because I still check to see if there's anyone who's basic reviewing Impact. And I didn't really find that many people, maybe one or two people who, maybe one, other than myself. Because I didn't see anyone else, but I could be wrong. Maybe they came out later in the next day, because I didn't look any time on Wednesday. I only looked at Tuesday night to see. But I did come across a YouTuber, and he seems to be a very large YouTuber, way bigger than me. And he was talking about what was going on with NXT. He had done it, his video, like, I think 2 or 3 days ago. And he was talking about how NXT is going to be possibly moving to Tuesday night, which we still don't know. There's still a very good chance NXT will not move to Tuesday night. But if it does, it will be a direct competitor to Impact Wrestling. And I wanted to find out information on that. But when he was talking about it, he said that Vince McMahon is now going to be directly responsible for NXT. He's taken direct interest in it. And now, supposedly, if the rumor is correct from what this YouTuber had stated, he fired Triple H from NXT as the executive producer of it and stuck him working on SmackDown and Raw, but he does not have a direct control over either one of them. He contributes, but he has no general say to it. Now, is this possibly true? Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But this is the key of the entire situation. NXT has gotten its ass whooped for over a year by AEW. Ever since Vince decided, well, this little upstart of Tony Khan thinking, oh, just because he owns the Jaguars and got more money than me, he thinks he can do better than me? Fuck him. I'm going to knock him out with my most smallest brand known as NXT. And he put it on USA and it got its butt kicked. Even if it's only several hundreds of thousands, not millions, still, he got his butt kicked. And Vince has one hell of an ego. No matter how nice, look, there are people out there who've known Vince McMahon outside of wrestling. And there's some that'll say Vince is a very good guy. And there's going to be some that says he's a fucking dick. No problem, no lies, no fuss or muss. But no matter what you give of Vince McMahon, the one thing he is, he's highly competitive and he has an ego. And he does not like when his ego is basically been soiled or got a boo-boo on it. He takes that personally. So if it is true that NXT is going to Tuesday night, he's going to damn sure certain to make NXT successful. Now, of course, the only competitor, well, I take this back. There are going to be more than a few competitors on Tuesday night. It's going to be Impact Wrestling. That comes on at 8. You have NWA. I think it's going to come on at 7. I could be wrong because I think it's going to be 7 or 8 o'clock. They're going to be coming, no, 7 or 6 o'clock. I'm not sure about the time. I think it's 7 on Tuesday nights. Then you have MLW, which I still can't bring myself to doing any reviews of it because the camera work is so freaking bad. You can't see anything in the damn ring or outside the ring. How can you do a review? Understand from my point of view, guys. This is my point of view. I'm watching this show. I'm also taking clips off the screen of watching it so I can show you. You know how I put images in my videos. I have to be able to see what's going on to be able to at least tell you generally how the movements are done, how you can see the lighting in there, how the wrestlers are acting. If there's an accident, if there's a botch, that's not something that's injuring or nothing, how something looks stupid, I can't do that. If the camera work is so hideous and the lighting is even worse, how can you do it? So I'm sure one or two more of my subscribers really want me to go back to it, but it's ridiculous. I would have to do it like this, and that's going to frustrate me because next to like putting images in my videos, if I can't see what's going on and I see blurs in front of the screen or someone's ass or someone's chest and I can't see even the wrestling hold, how am I going to enjoy it? Next to reporting on this, I got to enjoy the damn thing just like you. And if I can't, why the hell am I going to do it? So this is what you get. So that's why I don't do MWA. No, not MLW. You see, it frustrates me. I don't even want to think of the name of MLW. But these are the competitors NXT would have on Tuesday night that's on generally on YouTube. This is what they got. Now, will this hurt them? No, MLW is on YouTube. That's not a direct competitor unless they go on YouTube as well. The same for NWA Power. The only direct competitor would be Impact Wrestling. And please, Impact Wrestling, the brass in the back, please understand. And I say this to them. If anyone showed them this, I say, one, hello Don, hello Scott, and anyone else that's working there. Look, I may be critical of you, but I don't take anything away from any of you ever working in a ring or working in the wrestling industry. But you got to see what's going on. The way you've been booking has not been accurate and has not worked 100%. Yes, some of it is backfired in your face because of the talent themselves, like Tessa Blanchard. But when it comes down to it, some of your booking has not been good. It hasn't. And even though you have made some good strides, look at what's going on with Kenny Omega possibly getting the Impact World title, unified title, my mistake. The question's going to be, can you book beyond that? Because sooner or later, Kenny's not going to be there. And I say this to my subscribers. I think one of my subscribers thinks after Kenny's gone, it's over. It doesn't really make a difference. Yes, it does. Understand something. Yes, a network gives you an issue. Like, ECW got screwed by their network because they gave them a terrible time slot. They had decent to great content, but they were in a time slot that got them nowhere. That's the truth. Impact Wrestling, in this situation, its time slot on Tuesdays is not the issue here. It could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday. It's not the problem now. Yes, NXT is going to be an issue if it does go there, but the major issue is going to be their writing, how they book their people, and also how they work with their talent. Look, most of the time when it comes to Impact Wrestling, they don't hire them. They let them work a short amount of time, or they give them a very short contract, or worse, they don't renew the contract before the time is up. Now, mind you, the talent can cause trouble by stalling the negotiations for them to resign or to sign. Yes, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does. It does. But I want to make it very clear. This is still squarely on the shoulders of Impact Management, how they book their shows and how they deal with their talent. It is not generally about the talent. Yes, talent can be very temperamental. They can be pains in the ass. They can cause nothing but havoc. And also, they can get hurt. Or there may be a situation where they just can't be there, like what's going on with Covert. It's understandable. But it still falls squarely on the shoulders of the management. If the management doesn't have a good writing team, it makes no damn difference. Wrestlers who are there will have nothing to do, like it's been going on with the Knockouts division. Wrestlers will have nothing to do. When it comes like to the X division, they don't give them very good stories. They don't give them very good, almost no storylines or any stories. Yes, what's going on with Trey is one of the storylines. But let's be honest, they rarely do anything more than just one storyline for the X division. And when it comes to bringing in new talent, If you have a problem with money flow, do what you did in the Knockouts tournament. Bring in some indie wrestlers to be seen on television. Pay them a little money if they're able to come, because of the pandemic, things are complicated. I understand that. And I want to make this clear to anyone who's in the wrestling business and wrestling fans. Yes, there is just pandemic still going on. It is still difficult to travel, and it's still difficult to get anything done. They have to be tested before they even go on the show. And if they miss the tapings to do anything, it makes it very difficult. Yes, I take that into account as well. But still, there's ways of working around it. They could have had indie wrestlers there to supplement for their own wrestlers. If they got enough of a budget to pay a couple of indie wrestlers extra to come in and do some dark matches, why not do it? If they got enough money to bring in some women wrestlers in the Knockouts division, like I said, for Fire and Flavor, they should already have been destroying jobbers already that have been from the indies. They should have already been doing it, so we wouldn't notice how heavily depleted their Knockouts division is, or weak it is, because they brought in other women to supplement for it. Once every 2 or 3 weeks, you can have Fire and Flavor go up against some indie wrestlers. But they don't do it. Is it because they can't bring them in because there's no money? That could be a problem. Is it because they just can't get anybody in time for the tapings? That can't be a problem, because they can make an announcement. People got cell phones. They got email. They can be DM'd on Twitter. If anyone's gotten their Twitter account, they can make a request. So that's not the issue. The issue is management not doing the job properly. So for me personally, I see it in that respect. And going back to Triple H, if Triple H and his baby of NXT is not only moving to Tuesdays, but he has been removed as the producer of NXT, and he's been thrown on SmackDown and Raw to oversee certain parts of it but not have any type of control, then I say this for anyone who still loves NXT. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because the ride is not going to be bumpy. The ride is just going to be death. Because if Vince is in control of NXT, if it moves to Tuesday and he takes Triple H off the creative team, no matter what you say, thinking that things are going to be great, it's going to go back to the old NXT. If Triple H has been finally found out to be gone from there and Vince is directly in response to it, in control of it, it's nothing now. And if anyone continues watching it, well, that means you like Vince's stuff. But to be honest, I stopped watching NXT years ago because I noticed how Vince was treating his workers. Look, now, it's not 3 years now, it's 4 years. Almost 4.5 years since when I was watching generally NXT to a certain extent. Since then, what turned me off to NXT was every time when any of the talent went to the main roster, they were buried, flat out, and rebuilt badly. Very rarely they were treated well. Now what we got? The main roster, they're being treated badly by Vince because they can't do Cameo anymore. They can't do Twitch anymore. They can't do YouTube unless you got a special deal like Austin Creed of Up, Down, Down, and maybe somebody else, like Asuka. You get no bonuses. You get no pay raises. I'm sure the merch they're not getting that much for merchandise. There's no traveling around, and most of the people are not even being seen on television anymore. They're being sent in the back, and only a select few are being seen. Who wouldn't be frustrated seeing that? And if you see the Performance Center with NXT, why would you even want to watch so many great talents who have been booked properly by a Triple H, by a Shawn Michaels, by a Road Dogg, and you can include Road Dogg because he had to write whatever Vince wanted. When you really see for what it is, there is no reason to go to WWE at this time. Of course, there are some older wrestlers that are going to go because they want to get a good payday. They worked for years trying to make something out of themselves. And if they can't get into AEW, and Impact Wrestling doesn't have a great amount of money or great content, they want to go to WWE. I mean, it's always been a dream to go to WWE. But if any wrestlers, male or female, is really noticing what's going on, honestly, I don't know why you would go unless you're an older wrestler that literally wants to end their career at WWE. Even if they can't get the biggest payday, no, they get constant pay. That contract that gives them their guarantee that they'll get, if they get $100,000, they'll get near that $100,000 a year, no matter what. They can get extra if there's any merchandise sales, and get extra for any type of special events or pay-per-views if they're even on the show. That would make sense. For younger wrestlers that pretty much are not listening to social media and seeing what's going on, they want to make a name for themselves only at WWE. They don't want to go to Impact. They don't want to go to AEW. They don't want to go to MLW or ROH. They only see WWE. And that's all they care about. That's the only time you're going to see anybody do that. The other wrestlers in between them, they're going to see that WWE sucks. So this is what we got. Okay, now for the second half of the Gump report. The other part was a bit long-winded to the point where I forgot to do this part, and this is the next day, and I'm wearing another shirt. It was a lot to think about, honestly. I'm kind of glad I did forget, because at first when I saw the episode, and I saw what Kenny was doing with Don and the Good Brothers, standing there in the middle of the ring and trying to explain what happened about the explosives, pretty much saying, we planned this. This thing just lured you in. We thought we got you. We did get you. You thought you were going to get a nuke explosion. You got shit. You got shit. And they tried to cover for it, which was fine. Admittedly, as I've said in my review, it would have been better if Tony had just gone on TV and just said, you know what, my bad. It didn't go the way we wanted. Sorry, guys. That thing would have been a lot more effective. But we got this. It was as good as they could do it. Then Kingston comes out. And trying to make sure he got what he wanted. He wanted some ass. He wanted to whoop some ass. And hearing how Don tried to make it mean something was great. The beatdown was great. Seeing Moxley come out was fine. But then Christian comes out. And he's facing a fellow Canadian. And then Kingston, not Kingston. You know the reason I'm getting confused here is because I didn't understand what I was thinking about when I saw this. Because I thought, this is pretty cool, because you're going to have possibly Kenny Omega interacting with Christian. No problem. But then if you really think about it, because I really had to rethink it. I think I was a little bit tired when I did that. Like I've said, I have not been myself. I'm not going to lie. But I had to rethink it. And I had to rethink, what the hell am I thinking? This is a WWE type of move. Tony Khan has said himself, he's a friend of Christian. He literally is his friend. They talk to one another. And he said in his interview that I can't believe I didn't realize that Christian wasn't getting a new contract. And I had to sweep him up. This is what happens when you got a friend in the industry that you want to put over. Now, I've said this, and I still stand by this. There's nothing wrong with having Christian in AEW. It could be no different than Paul White. If you book him properly, he can contribute to AEW's growth. He could be someone who could be a talent relation. He could be someone who trains the talent not only in the ring, but also could train the talent in doing promos, backstage segments, helping them work on the character. And then he could wrestle. Yes, he's doing full time, but it does not mean he can't also wrestle, have meaningful feuds, and also not only still get himself over, but put over talent. But here, him going straight to Kenny, picking up that damn title, and then 100% making it clear that that title is going to mean something to him was the wrong... This is the wrong thing to do. In the sense that you're sending a message to WWE that we can one-up you. They're sending a message to other wrestlers that are near Christian's age or a little bit younger. Hey, come here. We'll treat you right. But then it sends the fans a very strong, bad message that you're not following the original rules that you set yourself, that it's about sports. This AEW. It's about the ranking system of AEW. Look, in the last 4 months, 4 or 5 months, they have gone away more than a few times, like the Bucks, dealing with Top Flight. Top Flight has not earned anything in the rankings, and they got a shot against the Bucks, even if it was non-title. They've done this more than a few times. They wanted to do certain things that did not have the ranking system in mind. Now, mind you, there are points where it makes sense to do this. Sometimes the ranking system can restrain you, and you need to go outside the ranking system just to get certain things done that you know in time will benefit the company. But doing this was not wise. I'm not lying. This was not a smart move to do by AEW. If next week Christian says out loud, look, what happened with me and the incredible Omega, the Alpha Omega of AEW, Curtin Champ, I wanted to send a message that I'm coming for him. I'm going to go for your ranking, and I'm going to beat everybody to get to him. That would be all right, because he's gonna have to go through the ranking system, and he's got to go through the other talent and have some feuds and do that and build himself up. But if he doesn't do that, and they actually start trying to book this after Kenny wins the Impact World Championship, that will be wrong, because you'll show the fans that you're acting just like WWE. Let's be honest. This is a WWE type of model to do. Bring in an older talent and bypass all the other talent, no matter if they're older themselves or young talent or somewhere in between. They get bypassed, and he goes here when he should be here. Here, he should be here, and he's here. That's the way it looks. And that is what you're showing your fans. And I don't agree with it. Admittedly, I didn't see it in that respect when I saw the show, when I did the recordings and did the Gump Report recordings. I didn't think about it. But now that I had night to sleep and to think about it, well, at least whenever I sleep, I'm insomniac. In the end, it's not right. This is wrong. If they go down this route, they're going to begin to alienate a lot of AEW fans. Now, mind you, there's going to be points, and I'm going to say this clearly to anyone who loves AEW. This is not about if I hate Christian or I love Christian. It's not about it. This is about how a company books their talent. They made a promise to their fans. They didn't want to be like WWE. They wanted to be an alternative, something different, something new and exciting. But if they begin to book a lot like WWE, they're going to lose them. Let's be honest. They will lose their fans. They cannot book like the competitor. If they do, they're the competitor, and in the end, the fans will lose heart in them and they'll move on to somebody else. It will happen, particularly that this company's barely been around 2 years. They barely, not even near 2 years, they're reaching near the 2-year period. They do not need to start being the competition. A little bit they can. And I will say this, there are certain things the WWE does that is good. But if they go beyond that, I promise you, the fans will be enraged. But this is just my point of view, and I hope you like episode 2 of the Gump Report. I wish I had remembered to do this last night, but it was late in the night. It was nearly... It took a while to do the other video. Then it took a while to do this video. Well, at least the first part of the video. And I forgot all about it. And then I have to redo it now in the morning. All right. Peace.